The hip-hop world is shaking, fans and insiders scrambling to take sides as a private video involving King Harris, son of rap legend T.I., somehow leaks into the public's hands. From the moment it appeared online, the impact was immediate. A combination of shock, curiosity, and outright gossip spread like wildfire. But the real bombshell didn't come from the leak itself. It came from Boosie Badass, a rapper known for speaking his mind without hesitation. The moment the video surfaced, Boosie went live, unfiltered and unafraid, calling out T.I. directly and dragging the Harris family's private matters into public view. His rant didn't just criticize parenting, it questioned loyalty, manhood, and the image that the Harris family had cultivated for years. Fans were stunned, blogs erupted, and insiders whispered about a feud that had likely been simmering for years, finally boiling over in the harshest of lights. The video in question allegedly showed King Harris in a compromising situation. Its shaky, grainy quality did nothing to dampen the firestorm that followed. Within minutes, it was everywhere, reposted on Instagram, dissected in Twitter threads, and picked apart by gossip blogs with the precision of vultures circling prey. Normally associated with music, wealth, and power, the Harris name was suddenly tied to scandal. Public silence from T.I. and Tiny only fueled speculation, while Boosie's immediate response made it clear he wasn't going to stand by quietly. Fans knew Boosie's energy, raw, loud, and brutally honest, and they tuned in en masse to watch him confront the situation head-on. Standing in his backyard, blunt in hand and smoke swirling around him, Boosie didn't hold back. He called out what he saw as parental shortcomings, openly blaming T.I. for King's behavior, and asserting that the young man had long been too wild for the constraints of family guidance. The internet exploded. Reactions were polarized. Some fans applauded Boosie for speaking what they saw as the obvious truth, while others criticized him for targeting a child. Yet Boosie continued, shifting the conversation from a single incident to the broader picture, including T.I.'s past controversies and the possibility that the Harris family had been maintaining a facade of perfection for years. "Y'all think y'all the perfect family, the big happy household," Boosie said during a live session, pointing at the camera. "But behind the scenes, it's messier than folks realize. I ain't here to sugarcoat nothing. I love King, that's my little dude, but I blame the daddy, real talk." These words reignited tensions that hadn't fully healed from past disagreements, including old accusations that T.I. had been involved in questionable dealings. Although rumors of past disputes had been quelled temporarily, Boosie's comments reopened wounds and stirred a narrative that insiders claimed had never fully disappeared. T.I.'s reaction, according to sources, was explosive. One insider said he slammed his phone on the table, muttering, "That man don't know nothing about my household, nothing." Tiny, on the other hand, was heartbroken, seeing her family's private matters aired publicly and fearing the emotional toll on her children. Boosie, however, remained unapologetic. He wanted his audience to see his perspective, sparking even more fan interaction through memes, old interviews, and social media speculation. Some wondered whether the video leak had come from someone close to King, and rumors swirled of ex-friends or jealous peers in Atlanta. Regardless, Boosie's voice dominated the conversation, and he seemed to relish the chaos. Adding to the drama, King himself posted cryptic Instagram stories. One read, "I don't care what nobody thinks about me. I'm gone. Live my life." Another, seemingly directed at Boosie, stated, "Grown men worried about me like they son." Boosie immediately responded in another live session, asserting his experience and perspective. "Boy, you don't know nothing about real life. I done been through the trenches. I know the game. You think you've grown, but you a child. Sit down somewhere before life sit you down for real." This back-and-forth dynamic transformed a scandal into a public spectacle, with fans forming factions. Some aligned with Boosie, claiming he had the courage to speak the truth. Others defended T.I. and King, arguing that Boosie was crossing boundaries and exploiting a family's personal pain for public entertainment. King Harris is back in the spotlight, and this time it's bigger than anything we've seen before. Forget the old headlines about Waffle House scraps or skipped court dates. This is a story that touches family, reputation, and long-standing internet gossip all at once. The latest controversy started when King's own baby mama allegedly leaked what fans are calling a gay tape of the young star. Almost instantly, the internet exploded, and before people could even catch their breath, Boosie jumped in, throwing shade at T.I. for the way he raised King. From that moment on, the story became more than just about King. It became a full-blown family drama playing out for the world to see. Whether this tape is real or fake, that doesn't even seem to matter. The internet has been waiting for a moment like this for years. Rumors about King's sexuality have been floating around for as long as fans can remember. Some people say he looked a little fruity. Others insist the baby was nothing more than a cover-up, a way to distract from the truth. And now, with the alleged tape circulating, the conversation has reached a fever pitch. But the story doesn't stop there. Social media users and fans started digging into every rumor they could find, resurfacing whispers that King might not even be the biological father of his son. Others accused his baby mama of intentionally having the child to secure the Harris name and cash in on fame and fortune. And then there were those claiming King was only putting on a tough gangster persona, one that he never actually lived in real life. This isn't just entertainment gossip. This is family, money, and image colliding in a very public way. When Boosie entered the conversation, the drama reached another level entirely. Instead of going directly at King, Boosie aimed his comments at T.I., making it crystal clear that this wasn't just idle gossip. This was a direct attack on family in the public eye. It's one thing for the internet to speculate, but it's another thing when someone deliberately uses controversy to throw shade at someone's parent. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about a leaked tape or a celebrity child. It became a tangled web of family dynamics, old grudges, and carefully calculated shots. And that's what makes this story so captivating. The layers of intrigue are endless. From paternity rumors to public meltdowns, every element is magnified because King Harris is not just any young star. He's T.I. and Tiny's son, and people expect a certain level of behavior from him. King himself has opened up about growing up in a controlled and somewhat sheltered environment. He revealed that he used to live with his grandma and would only leave for filming or public appearances. He said, "We'd go into the house on the weekends. They'd say, 'Hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house,' and they'd come get me. And right after we were done, when the cameras went off, I'd go right back to my grandma's house." This little detail about his upbringing may seem minor, but it's exactly what the internet has been scrutinizing. Fans often point out that while King talks tough and acts like he's from the streets, the reality is that he grew up surrounded by privilege and safety, not exactly the upbringing of a hardened gangster. From the moment King's baby mama announced her pregnancy, the internet began speculating wildly. First, fans noticed she was older than King, and the assumption was immediate. She knew exactly what she was doing. People started accusing her of being opportunistic, using the pregnancy as a way to gain fame, money, and leverage in the public eye. Clips of King, his baby mama, and the newborn flooded social media, with fans dissecting every second like detectives, analyzing gestures, facial expressions, and even body language for any hint of deception. Rumors spread that the pregnancy itself was strategic, aimed at solidifying King's image or even diverting attention from questions about his sexuality. And the controversy didn't stop once the baby arrived. In fact, it intensified. Social media users began posting side-by-side photos claiming he doesn't even look like King, suggesting the child might not be his. Others accused King of rushing to stunt, acting like he'd suddenly stepped into grown man responsibilities overnight. But King didn't back down. He hit the internet hard, posting photos of the baby and calling him his twin, insisting that the child looked exactly like him. He doubled down on captions declaring, "Y'all can't tell me this ain't mine." This statement alone sparked hours of debate online, with fans arguing about the truth while memes and side-by-side comparisons went viral. Even T.I. stepped in, trying to guide his son through the scrutiny. Me and his uncles were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short-order cook. I didn't understand why he felt the need to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. I had to explain that when people are not living the way they hope, and you're walking in with so much freedom and luxury, people are going to posture themselves. Therefore, you're going to have to enjoy your life. You're going to have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life. T.I.'s words highlight the difference between perception and reality, a lesson King seems to be learning the hard way in front of the world.
But here's the twist. The harder King fought to prove the baby was his, the more people doubted him. And it wasn't just about the baby anymore. For years, whispers about King's sexuality had circulated online. When the announcement hit, many assumed he was using the child as a shield to deflect attention from those rumors. And now, with the alleged tape in circulation, old receipts were dug up, with fans claiming this was all part of a plan to quiet speculation. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from mere curiosity to something much darker and more personal, with fans questioning King's identity and intentions. King's public image suffered even more due to other incidents. Viral clips showed him losing his temper at Waffle House, shouting, threatening employees, and acting completely unhinged over fast food. People couldn't believe that this was the son of T.I. and Tiny, someone expected to handle fame and scrutiny with a bit more composure. Then came his 2024 arrest footage in Georgia, where police alleged he nearly hit a squad car, had marijuana pouring out of his BMW, and was found with a gun on his hip. On top of that, he had a warrant from 2022 for skipping court. The internet reaction? Spinning out of control was the polite way of putting it. And then came the alleged tape, and Boosie jumped into the drama. Instead of staying out of it, Boosie began publicly clowning T.I., connecting King's actions to the way he was raised. But let's not forget, Boosie has a history of reckless comments about sexuality. He had to publicly apologize to his own daughter, Ewina, for making homophobic remarks. Even though he tried to walk it back, everyone knew what he meant. Now he's fully inserted himself into King's controversy, escalating an already tense situation and giving the internet even more reason to feast on the chaos. To fully understand why Boosie is involved, we need to look at the history. T.I. and Boosie have been at odds for years. It started with viral comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter, who came out as transgender. By 2023, the feud flared again, with Boosie accusing T.I. of not standing up for him during legal issues. T.I. responded firmly, making it clear he wouldn't defend someone who continually disrespected him. Boosie's entrance into King's drama is not random. It's a calculated move targeting T.I. where it hurts most: family. And as the alleged tape circulated, the internet reacted mercilessly. Fans mocked King's appearance, comparing him to cartoon characters, and one viral comment even said, "King about to be queen." That line hit hard because it didn't just insult his looks, it brought long-running speculation about his sexuality right back into the spotlight. This is why the scandal is far bigger than just a leaked tape. With Boosie stirring the pot, King Harris is caught in a crossfire between two feuding families, and what started as minor rumors has now escalated into a full-blown saga about pride, identity, and reputation.
However, for years, whispers about King Harris's sexuality have been circulating online. Fans and internet trolls have thrown shade at him, claiming he looked a little fruity, while others have gone so far as to suggest that his baby situation might have been a cover-up to maintain a certain public image. Now, with the so-called tape allegedly leaking, those trolls feel like they've been handed brand new ammunition to attack King all over again. At this point, truth barely matters. The internet thrives on scandal, and once it smells controversy, it refuses to let go. The timing could not have been worse, and just when people thought the situation couldn't get any messier, Boosie jumped into the fray. Unlike many who would attack King directly, Boosie strategically aimed his comments at T.I., turning what was once private gossip into a full-blown public family feud. Suddenly, this wasn't just about King. It was about his father, his upbringing, and the legacy of one of hip-hop's most prominent families. The internet has never been gentle with King Harris, and this incident only intensified the scrutiny. The conversation rapidly escalated into a heavyweight hip-hop drama, with fans digging up old paternity rumors, mocking his attempts at a gangster persona, and revisiting public incidents from his past. Even long-standing issues like King's previous Waffle House meltdown, court troubles, and viral arrests have been dredged up to paint a picture of a young man constantly in conflict with the world. Long before the tape allegedly surfaced, people were side-eyeing King's relationship with his baby mama. From the moment she announced her pregnancy, the internet buzzed with speculation. The first thing people noticed? Her age. Being older than King, many assumed she had an agenda and knew exactly what she was doing. Clips of King holding his baby and posing alongside her flooded social media timelines, but rather than quelling the rumors, the comments section exploded with even more critical
cynical and sometimes cruel commentary. Once the baby was born, the speculation only intensified. People were quick to suggest that the pregnancy was motivated by money and access to the Harris family fortune. Some online voices claimed she saw the fame, the family legacy, and the financial opportunities that came with the name Harris and decided to secure her spot by having a child. Whether or not this was true didn't matter. In today's internet culture, speculation spreads faster than facts, and the comment sections became a battleground of opinions, accusations, and memes. Fans began side-by-side comparisons, claiming the baby didn't resemble King at all, and suggesting that he was trying to project a grown man image overnight. In response, King posted pictures online showing what he called his twin and defending his paternity. He wrote captions daring anyone to deny the baby was his own, yet the harder he tried to prove it, the more the internet refused to believe him. But this story is more than just paternity. The same fans who doubted King's baby have long questioned his public persona. Critics have accused him of cosplaying a gangster lifestyle he never actually lived. King often talks tough, jumps into beefs, and acts as if he grew up in the trenches, but everyone knows he's T.I. and Tiny's son, a young man raised with money, privilege, and most of his childhood spent safely at his grandmother's house. Every time he takes to social media claiming to be street or engaging in confrontations, the comment section floods with clown emojis and messages calling out the forced image. What King thinks looks authentic often backfires, exposing a disconnect between his public persona and reality. King Harris is fighting battles on two fronts, trying to prove he's a responsible adult and father, while simultaneously convincing the world he's a hardened street figure. The more he pushes, the worse it looks. This tension reached a breaking point during the infamous Waffle House meltdown, where King was caught on camera yelling at employees in a loud, aggressive manner over a fast food dispute. The incident went viral, and fans were stunned. Even T.I. himself went live the next day, expressing frustration and confusion over why his son would stoop so low. T.I. admitted that he and his uncles tried to intervene, attempting to remind him that he's living the kind of life most people dream of. So why throw it all away by pretending to be something he's not? But unfortunately, the advice didn't seem to stick. Not long after, things escalated further. In 2024, King was pulled over in Georgia in a high-profile incident. Police alleged that he nearly smashed into a squad car while exiting a gas station. Officers reportedly smelled marijuana coming from his BMW, spotted a firearm on his hip, and discovered a warrant lingering from 2022. The old warrant stemmed from traffic violations, a DUI, and failure to appear in court. Within hours, the arrest footage spread across social media, showing King handcuffed and taken into custody. While he appeared calm in the video, the fans were far from it. To many, this was concrete evidence that his life was spiraling out of control. And then, Boosie made his move. But rather than clowning King directly, he targeted T.I., making pointed remarks about his parenting and the perceived failings within the Harris family. Fans immediately recognized the calculated shade. This was no random gossip. It was a strategic move, drawing on years of tension between Boosie and T.I. Boosie is no stranger to controversy, particularly around issues of sexuality. He has a history of making remarks that sparked backlash, including homophobic comments aimed at his own daughter, Iona. Though he later apologized publicly, the internet remembers, and his involvement in King's drama immediately drew criticism, labeling him a hypocrite. How are you clowning someone else's kid when you can barely keep your own house in order? Was a sentiment shared across platforms. Boosie's comments weren't harmless jokes, they were personal attacks aimed at T.I. To understand the full scope of Boosie's motives, you have to look at his history with T.I. The feud dates back to an incident involving Dwayne Wade's daughter coming out as transgender. Boosie made harsh online comments that were widely criticized as transphobic, prompting T.I. to respond publicly, telling Boosie to mind his business. This moment planted the seeds of a grudge that simmered for years. Later, Boosie escalated matters by accusing T.I. of being a snitch in his old federal gun case, which T.I. strongly denied, asserting that no one would disrespect his family without consequences. From From there, the feud intensified, with Boosie criticizing T.I.'s parenting decisions, including a story about taking his daughter to the gynecologist. The conflict grew from casual rap banter into a personal vendetta, with both men taking brutal shots at each other's credibility. By 2023, the feud reignited in full force. Boosie accused T.I. of not standing by him during legal troubles, painting him as disloyal. T.I. fired back, refusing to defend someone who consistently disrespected him. This was no longer about clout chasing. This was deeply personal. Every opportunity Boosie had, he used to take shots at T.I. And when King's scandal broke, it was the perfect opportunity. Boosie wasn't attacking King for kicks. He saw a golden opportunity to humiliate T.I. publicly, using King as the unwitting punchline. With King already drowning in viral rumors and scandal, Boosie jumped in at the perfect moment. The internet quickly recognized it wasn't about King, it was about T.I. Once Boosie spoke, the floodgates opened. Trolls and fans alike went in on King Harris like never before. Comments ranged from blunt insults about his appearance to memes comparing him to Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Social media was flooded with side-by-side images, memes, and sarcastic commentary. One comment in particular ignited a firestorm. King about to be queen. That line didn't just mock him, it reignited conversations about King's identity and sexuality, further fueling the scandal. What makes this situation so much bigger than a leaked tape is how every aspect of King's life is weaponized online. No matter what he does, having a child, acting tough, or behaving publicly in a certain way, it is twisted and scrutinized. For years, every move he has made has been used against him. Now, with Boosie stirring the pot, the conversation has shifted from personal scandal to a much larger narrative about King's image, identity, and the legacy of the T.I. family. The internet has never seen this as King's private drama. It's now a reflection of the entire family. T.I.'s parenting, reputation, and legacy are all under the microscope.
In a dramatic turn, King challenged Boosie to a direct confrontation, escalating the feud into a generational clash. Boosie responded cryptically, suggesting he had more to reveal, but carefully managing the timing to maximize audience engagement. The narrative now included betrayal, family divisions, and questions of legacy and accountability. T.I. struggled to maintain authority, King demanded independence, and Boosie reveled in the chaos he had created, creating a storyline that transcended traditional rap beefs and entered the realm of cultural spectacle. Ultimately, this feud illustrates the collision of private family dynamics, public perception, and the brutal visibility of social media. What began as a leaked video transformed into a layered saga involving personal grievances, generational conflict, and the complexities of fame. Boosie, T.I., King, and Tiny were all players in a drama that captivated millions of fans, with each side staking their claim to truth, loyalty, and reputation. As fans debated the morality, ethics, and intentions behind every post, live, and comment, one fact remained clear. The story was far from over. Boosie claimed he had more secrets, T.I. was still hunting for leaks, and King refused to be silenced. The family remained divided, the audience engaged, and the industry abuzz with speculation about what would come next. Questions remain unanswered. Will Boosie and T.I. ever reconcile? Will King successfully navigate fame on his own terms? How much of this narrative is true, and how much is amplified by the social media spectacle surrounding it? Regardless, the saga has highlighted the precarious balance between public life and private struggle, demonstrating that even in the world of hip-hop, the most personal stories can become the most explosive. Fans continue to debate, memes circulate, and every new post, live or leak, only adds to the narrative, proving that the drama surrounding Boosie, T.I., King, and the Harris family is far from concluded.